SourceFedNerd Movie Club, it's me, Jenny, aka ClassyLibrarian, and this week's movie was The Artist. And my quickie review for this film, and the one I can use to sum up my experience for this film, is that experience is a great word for this film because this film is an experience. I think it's one of the best films that I've seen of Movie Club, and I immediately at the end of the film both wanted to rewatch and then bought it straight away, and I can't wait for the DVDs to arrive because this is just such a beautiful, amazing experience of a film, given that it's a love letter to a genre that I know very little about, and I don't think I could even name a single black and white silent film that I've ever watched. I just got so lost in the beauty of this genre. I would love to watch some more black and white and silent films in the future because this was so well done. The amount that can be communicated in this without it being verbal is amazing. I love this film, and because it's a silent film there is no extraneous noise, there is no background noise, there is nothing in this film that could be edited out, in my opinion, that would mean that you wouldn't lose something from this film. Every single bit of written dialogue means so much. There's things like the one or two sentences between Valentine and his wife are some of the most potent things because it's so multifaceted in terms of what he and her say, where, you know, they're talking about their relationship, they're talking about his job, and they're talking about the genre that the entire story is set in the course of about 3 lines. There's so many other things like visual cues in terms of the names of every single background thing in the background. If you read what's going on, it tells you something about what's actually happening in the sequence or what's happening in that arc of the story, and I really love that because every single visual cue is relevant. Things like the set and the way that it's shot, where one of my favourite sequences when Peppy is going upstairs and Valentine is coming downstairs, and it's at the point where her career is going up and his career is going down, and it's so visually stimulating, the fact that there's this gorgeous set of stairs which are beautiful in their own right and so historically lovely, and the fact that it's completely relevant to the story, it's completely relevant to their characters, and it tells you so much about what's going on without having to say anything. And I love that, and there's so many different sequences where it's similar to that, like the 2 chairs opposite each other in the restaurant, and the car being there and then not being there, and all of these very, very careful visual cues, all of the themes with the portrait, with the suit, and how that suit represents himself. And I love the visuals for this. As I said, the set, the props, the hair, the makeup, just the costumes, everything about the visuals of this is so beautiful, and they have to be because you can't look away from the screen. You have to watch everything, and the enjoyment comes from the visuals. And I love that so much. I love the music. It's very jazzy, it's very bluesy. I really loved it. I wanted to tap dance in the garden a lot after watching this. And it made me happy, particularly the last dance sequence is just such an uplifting, beautiful moment. I love how the music works in with the sequences and how it's really part of the sequences without actually being part of the sequences, and I love how it gets really worked in so well. And without it would probably be a much, much more boring film. The acting throughout is really well done. I mean, because it is a silent film, some of it's very pantomimey and some of it's very funny, and it is light-hearted in a lot of parts. The dog is amazing. I just have to give a shout out to the dog because that is some of the best dog acting ever. And as I was saying, some of the acting is very pantomimey, but some of it's so subtle and some of it's just so beautiful that you have to be looking at the screen in order to see what's going on, and you can get so much from these characters without it being verbalised. And I love it. It's so physical and it's just very, very emotive. And I've said it before that I love subtitled films in a way that sometimes I don't love other films because you've got to stay focused on the story, you can't get distracted. And this is one of those ones. This was a genuine experience. I just loved everything about it. I loved every second of it. It was very light-hearted in places, very dark in other places, and it just leaves me with a happy feeling. It's such a great feel-good film. I can see 100% why this is not for everyone. Some people could find it very dull, some people find it very tedious, but I loved it so much, and anyone who has an interest in film history, I know this isn't an actually old film, this is a modern film which is a love letter to a historical genre. If you have any interest in film, please watch this, please give yourself a chance and let yourself really get into it. About 10 minutes into this film, my brain clicked into the genre and I fell in love, and I would 100% recommend this. And that's about it. I hope you enjoy. I will see you guys next week, and I hope the pick even comes a 10th as close as to as great as this film was, because this was such a great film and I can see why it got all the praise it did. Bye guys.